All right, so you're a home barista, you've got the gear, and you're ready to move beyond just pulling okay shots. You want to pull consistently amazing espresso shots. Well, you are in exactly the right place. In this explainer, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty and really dial in that perfect cup.
So we're going to walk through this just like a pro barista would, following the whole bean to cup journey. First, we'll get into the coffee itself, the beans, and the grind. Then we'll talk about prepping the shot, dialing in the extraction, and of course, tasting the results and figuring out what went right or wrong. And finally, we'll cover the one thing that can make or break everything, keeping your machine sparkling clean.
You know the secret to incredible espresso? It doesn't actually start with the machine. Nope, it starts way, way before that. It begins with the bean, where it's from, how it was handled, and critically, how you grind it. This is the foundation, and if you get this right, everything else gets a whole lot easier.
And a huge part of that foundation is how the coffee cherries are processed right after they're picked. Think of it like this. The natural process dries the whole fruit, which gives you these big, sweet, fruity, almost winey flavors. The wash process, on the other hand, scrubs the fruit off first, and that gives you a much cleaner, brighter, more acidic cup. One isn't better than the other, they're just two totally different paths to deliciousness.
Now, to unlock all that potential flavor, your grinder is, without a doubt, your single most important tool. And here, you've got to make a choice. Are you a specialist or a generalist? The Specialita, for example, is an absolute master of espresso. It's built for one thing, getting that ultra-fine, super consistent grind. The Perfetto, though, is the jack of all trades. It can do a great espresso, but it can also easily switch over to a French press grind. If espresso is your one true love, going with a specialist is going to pay off big time.
Okay, so we've got our perfectly ground coffee. Now comes what I think is the most crucial hands-on step, prepping that little disc of coffee, or puck, in your portafilter. And this is where we come face to face with the #1 enemy of good espresso.
And that enemy has a name: channeling. See, water under 9 bars of pressure is lazy. It's always looking for the easiest way out. If there's a tiny crack or a soft spot in your coffee puck, the water will just blast right through it, totally ignoring the coffee around it. What you end up with is a mess. Some grounds are over-extracted and bitter, others are under-extracted and sour. You literally get the worst of both worlds in one cup. It's awful.
So, the whole point of tamping isn't just about smashing the coffee down hard. The goal is to create a perfectly level, uniformly dense puck of coffee. That way, you're forcing the water to flow through the entire thing evenly. So you're going to distribute the grounds so they're flat, get your tamper perfectly level, and then give it one firm, even press until it feels solid.
And here's my favorite little trick to make sure you get it right. Hold the tamper like you'd hold a screwdriver. Let your thumb and index finger rest on the rim of the portafilter basket. This gives you instant tactile feedback. If you feel more pressure on your thumb than your finger, you know you're tilting. It's such a simple way to guarantee a level surface and stop channeling before it even starts.
All right, our puck is perfect. We lock it into the machine. Now it's time for the magic. The extraction is like a dance, and you're in control of 3 key variables: the brew ratio, the temperature, and the pressure. If you can master these, you can unlock pretty much any flavor you want.
First up is the brew ratio. Don't let the term scare you. It's just a simple recipe. It's the weight of your dry coffee grounds compared to the weight of the liquid espresso you get out in the cup. A tight 1-to-1 ratio gets you a super thick, syrupy ristretto. A standard espresso is usually in that 1-to-2 or 1-to-3 range, and if you let it run longer, you get a lungo. This is your main dial for controlling the shot's strength and body.
And here it is in plain numbers. This is your home base, the most common starting point in specialty coffee, a 1-to-2 ratio. You put 18 grams of coffee in, and you hit stop on your machine right as the scale hits 36 grams of liquid out. It's a simple, repeatable recipe for a fantastic, balanced shot.
Next up, temperature. And here's the thing, it's not just that hotter water extracts more. Different flavor compounds in the coffee dissolve at different temperatures. So when you change the temperature, you're actually changing the balance of flavors in your cup. You're tweaking the ratio of acids to sugars to bitter notes.
Check this out. We pulled some shots just to see the difference. At a cooler 88 Celsius, the shot is really bright, very acidic. At 92 degrees, bam, that's the sweet spot. Balanced, fruity, just delicious. But if you crank it all the way up to 96, yeah, you get more body and sweetness, but you're really flirting with pulling out those roasty, bitter flavors. That middle ground is usually where the magic is.
And finally, we've got pressure. For decades, the standard was just hit the puck with a constant 9 bars of pressure. But these days, modern machines let us play with the pressure profile. We can start off gently with a low-pressure pre-infusion to evenly saturate the puck, then ramp up to full power and even taper off at the end. It really gives us this incredible level of control to minimize bitterness and bring out all that sweetness.
So the shot is pulled, the crema looks beautiful. Now what? Well, now you taste it. And you have to taste it critically. Your palate is your best diagnostic tool. It will tell you exactly what happened in those 30 seconds and what you need to change for the next shot.
To really get a feel for this, we're going to do a fun little experiment. We're going to deconstruct an espresso shot to taste how the flavors change over time. I'm telling you, this is a total game changer for understanding your coffee.
The setup couldn't be simpler. You just prep a shot like you normally would, but have 5 little glasses ready to go. As soon as you see the first drops, start a timer and just swap the glass out every 5 seconds. You're basically capturing the extraction in 5 separate chapters.
And the results are fascinating. That first glass is going to be shockingly salty and aggressive. The second one starts to get tart and acidic. The third glass, that's the jackpot. That's where you find the sweetness and balance. After that, it gets a little muted, and the final glass is just thin, watery, and bitter. A great shot is just the perfect blend of all these stages in one cup.
So, how do we use that knowledge? It's easy. If your final shot tastes overwhelmingly sour, you know it's under-extracted. You didn't get enough of that sweetness. The solution? Grind your coffee finer to slow the shot down. If it's too bitter, it's over-extracted. You went too far into that watery, bitter phase. So, you grind coarser. See? Your taste buds are telling you exactly what knob to turn.
And that brings us to our final and maybe most overlooked part of making great espresso, a clean machine. Look, you can do everything else perfectly, but if you're brewing through old, rancid coffee oils, your shot is going to taste bad. Period. Consistency starts with cleanliness.
The good news is you don't need a lot of stuff. You just need the right tools. A good detergent powder, a blind basket for backflushing, a little brush for the group head, a screwdriver for taking off the shower screen, and a few microfiber cloths. That's pretty much it.
This stuff needs to become muscle memory. After every single shot, you wipe out the portafilter basket. Before you put it in, you flush the group head. And you always purge and wipe the steam wand the second you're done with it. These tiny little habits make a massive difference. Then, at the end of your session, you do a slightly deeper clean. You'll soak your baskets in portafilter, clean the shower screen, and most importantly, you'll backflush. This is where you use that blind basket and some detergent to force cleaning solution back up into the machine's guts, clearing out all those oily residues you just can't see.
Which all leads to this final thought. That one perfect shot, the one that makes you close your eyes, what baristas call the God shot. Is it just the result of perfect science, of nailing all the variables we just talked about? Or is there something more to it? A moment of pure intuition, of feeling, a little bit of unrepeatable art? Maybe the real art is just knowing how to use the science.